for everyone at home. Let's think about it. Someone comes up to me, Andrew Tate, Israel is your number one ally. I said, well, they never paid my rent, so not my.
Is that how it works? Okay, so guys, is Canada and United States are they allies? Would you guys consider United States and Canada to be allies? Tell me, people, guys, do you consider them to be allies? Huh? Is it okay? Because I thought they were. I thought Canada and United States are allies. But now I know that they're not, because I've never seen Canada pay the rent for American citizens. I mean, technically, then no two countries are allies, because I haven't ever seen any country provide the rent of the citizens of another country. So by that definition, no two countries on this planet are allies. Okay, what are you talking about? These people have no understanding of anything when it comes to international politics and economics, and they are and they have so many people follow them and take them seriously. Holy crap.
Ally. They don't cut my grass. Now, what do they do for me?
What do they do for you? Well, let me tell you, okay? As allies of the United States, in fact, you should be complaining if they weren't doing this, right? Because as allies of the United States, they share some of the responsibility and the expense for maintaining the world liberal order. And that pays your rent. And actually, that pays your rent. Because the global international trade requires international cooperation of allied secular democratic liberal countries to maintain this order for all of this economy to work. If you didn't have this global stability, your medicine, your technology, your rent, everything would be astronomically higher, and we would be decades behind where we are right now when it comes to economic development and prosperity. So actually, technically, it is paying your rent. This international cooperation is between liberal countries, liberal democratic countries, is providing the stability that is making the international trade responsible for your income and everyone else's income. So technically, it is paying your rent.
Turns out nothing. So who are they allies to? Well, are they allies to?
But I think his version of the paying your rent has to be them directly coming in and basically going to your landlord and paying your rent. You want Netanyahu to actually show up at your lawn and just like mow your lawn. That's what, unless you see that, you're not going to notice this is what a child's mind look like. Things have to be so directly in front of you for you to recognize them as existing.
The government, who are also, it seems to be my enemy? Are they allies to the people who I don't trust? When those senators who are robbing everybody and stealing all of the money and inflating the currency stand up and say they're our number one ally, maybe they're your number one ally because you can get.
Okay, so actually the global order that United States has created is the reason why the inflation in United States is less than any other country. So yeah, we had inflation in United States just like any other country. So this was a global thing. No, it wasn't a United States issue. But because of U.S. superiority in being able to control the stability in the world, their currency is the world reserve currency. And that's why United States government is more capable of controlling inflation. And that's why inflation in the United States after COVID was less than any other country. You ungrateful. I mean, you're talking to Candace. She is a U.S. citizen, and she's being ungrateful.
An Israeli passport and disappear and hide because you're a pedophile. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're your ally, but they're certainly not mine. So why is anybody even repeating this trope? Whose ally are they?
Right. I said that. They protect pedophiles. They literally...
They're allied to the criminal class.
So I'm like...
You fucking morons. They're not protecting... They're protecting Jews. Every Jew that has the right to return to Israel, some of them happen to be criminals. They're not protecting them because they're criminals. I mean, and we already responded to
this. Where is this coming from? They also performed a terrorist attack and got away with it because of, I'm assuming, the blackmail they have on politicians.
What terrorist attacks? Who got? Are you talking about them going out and removing some terrorists? Are you calling that a terrorist
Assuming
attack?
the blackmail they have on politicians, but the USS Liberty, we can't even talk about that in America.
Yep.
It's like this no-go zone. You can't talk about that, or the press is going to label you an anti-Semite for knowing that they murdered and tried to get away with it by flying in planes, unmarked planes, and bombing the USS Liberty to drag us into their war with Egypt.
Yep.
That's not my ally, not from a
Oh wait, you're talking about a long time ago. I don't know what are you talking about? There was a time that Israel did something the United States really hated, and the United States even put sanctions on Israel because of that back in the day. If you can imagine that, when the United States and Israel were not such allies. But I don't know if that specific event happened. I know Israel, with the help of France, attacked Egypt, and with the help of UK, I think, if I remember correctly, attacked Egypt, and United States was like, "What the hell? You guys didn't. Guys were not supposed to do this, and you didn't tell me." And United States was very angry. But I don't know if they specifically bombed a U.S. ship. I don't know if that happened. I could double check that. Hold it.
You an anti-Semite for knowing that they murdered and tried to get away with it by flying in planes, unmarked planes, and bombing the USS Liberty to drag us into their war with Egypt.
Yep.
That's not my ally, not from a political standpoint, not from a personal standpoint. The second your state is protecting pedophiles and allowing them to escape from America after they've molested children, and then you go, oh, we'll keep them safe here. And on top of that, you get to take our tax dollars. We can't even extradite our pedophiles.
Yeah.
And you like, why are you saying that?
And isn't an ally reciprocal? Like,
they're actually not taking a lot of the weapons the United States sells to Israel. They actually charge Israel for that, and Israel has to, and the money also they give Israel is the money that Israel has to use to buy weaponry from United States, creating a lot of jobs in the United States, right? So this was, let me actually fact check this. The attack on the USS Liberty by Israel forces on June 8, 1967, during the Six-Day War remains a controversial and debated incident. The U.S. Liberty, an American naval intelligence ship, was attacked by Israeli aircraft and torpedo boats, resulting in the deaths of 34 crew members and injuries to 171 others. Okay, so here's the thing. It doesn't seem like something that is censored. This seems like it's something that is in the history books and people are talking about it. But okay, so both the United States and Israel conducted investigations into the incident. So yeah, there was an investigation. This is not like a censored incident. And it's in 1967. The official explanation from both governments was that the attack was a tragic mistake, with Israeli forces misidentifying the USS Liberty as an Egyptian vessel. However, this explanation has been met with skepticism and has fueled numerous conspiracy theories. Some conspiracy theories, some theories suggest that the attack was deliberate, aimed at preventing the USS Liberty from intercepting communications that could reveal Israel military actions during the war, such as alleged war crimes, blah, blah, blah. All right, so again, there seems to be a lot of academic and historical work and debate around this. Not like Candace was mentioning, like, oh, we're not allowed to talk about this. It seems like actually a lot of people have been talking about it and investigating this without any consequences to them. In fact, their work is being celebrated as academic work. So yeah, you're wrong.
Saying
and isn't an ally reciprocal? Like, shouldn't it go both ways? Like, what do they do for us? I understand we fight their wars for them and we protect them and we give them weapons and we do everything they want. That's fine. They're surrounded by enemies for some reason.
Yeah, they're at. Let me tell you what Israel is doing for the United States. They are fighting United States enemies far away from U.S. borders. Right? The entire reason, well, not the entire. One of the main reasons why people are trying to destroy Israel is because the eventual goal is to attack United States, and Israel is in the way, right? So we covered this. The concept of a caliphate, if you're Sunni, or imamate, if you're Shia, the whole point is to eventually take over the world. And right now, they block the world power that is against them. So they divide the world into two: the Islamic world and the Kufr world, the Darul Harb, Darul Islam and Darul Harb. And what the goal is to either turn the entire world into an imamate if you're Shia, or a caliphate if you're Sunni, right? So the imamate in Iran right now, taking Iran as a hostage. That's a country that has been occupied. They took down the Pahlavi dynasty because they considered that to be a puppet of this Western imperial order, which we call the world liberal order, which they think the main power, the main representative of that, and the defender of that is the U.S. military. So they removed the Pahlavi dynasty. They captured Iran, and now they want to capture the Middle East. And the main block against them in the Middle East is Israel, because they see Israel as the next puppet of the Western imperial order. So that has to be removed so that they could capture the entire Middle East, and then eventually to go for the main head, the main power, which is the United States. So they cannot go for the United States when they are still haven't even taken out the Israel. So Israel is in their way. So Israel is literally standing between you and the enemies of United States. But the eventual goal is to topple the U.S. military and the whole world Western liberal order. That's the goal. So that is what Israel is doing for you. Israeli lives are being sacrificed. They're there fighting your enemies while you're safely secure at home. You should be grateful. Well, Israelis should be grateful to the United States, but U.S. citizens should also be grateful to Israelis. They should actually be extra grateful because they're paying a heavy price for this fight.
Nobody seems to like them. That's fine. What do they do for us? Ever. Anything, ever. It's really...
They're dying. They're dying fighting your enemies, you ungrateful fuck.
Can tell you.
No one can tell you. And then, of course, people are so emotional.
No one could tell you. I just did. Come talk to me. I just did. I just talked to you. I just gave you an answer.
Invested in the idea of Israel. When you mention these things, they just repeat that trope. Well, they're our number one ally. It's like, I think you need to first understand the word "are," who "are" is, and secondly, understand the word ally, because ally is supposed to go both ways. And this is just one of the many different pegs in the system, which now X is free. I have to admit, I feel like people are starting to realize and wake up a little bit about a lot of subjects. And Rumble is out there, and obviously you've got your own show, which is amazing. But
on YouTube, which is supposed to be run by you have your show, Candace, on YouTube, which is supposed to be run by Zionists, and yet they're providing you a platform to tell your nonsense to the world.